All right, we'd love to get the evening started so we can get you out of here at a decent time. Um, my name is Tamara Prado. I'm the group publisher of Minnesota Business Magazine. We are thrilled to see such an incredible group of companies here for our first ever Community Impact Awards. Thank you very much for being here. First, what we'll do is we will check out a clip of many of the companies being honored. If you see your name and photos of your company, please clap, cheer, and enjoy.
From Minneapolis to Mankato, from St. Paul to St. Cloud, and from Duluth to Delano, Minnesota's businesses have a rich tradition of community involvement. Companies, large or small, making a big difference through their hard work and dedication to a Minnesota tradition, making our world better. Tonight, we salute the change agents among us with public praise and heartfelt thanks. Minnesota Business is proud to present the Community Impact Awards.
All right, nicely done. So once again, we're really appreciative of you all being here and taking this time to help us celebrate different businesses and what they're doing to give back and make this community such a great place to live. What I'd like to do next is introduce you to our MC for the evening, Mr. Paul Batz. For those of you who don't know Paul, he is the founder of the Good Leadership Breakfast Series that happens on Fridays once a month. I would encourage you all to give it a shot and attend. We at Minnesota Business are thrilled to work with Paul in promoting good leadership, giving back, as well as with his business, What Really Works. I'd also like to give a big shout out to our friends from API who generously donated the wine this evening that we are serving at the table from their winery in Croatia. Korta Katarina. Thank you. And without further ado, Mr. Paul Batz.
Thank you, Tamara. Yeah, and let's all say a special congratulations to the people at Minnesota Business. This is kind of one of those big duh things, but don't you think in Minneapolis, St. Paul, we should be celebrating the organizations that are making a large community impact, right? It's hard to believe nobody had this idea before. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Paul Batz. I have two jobs tonight. The first job is to set the right tone, and the second job is to keep this thing moving so we can all get out of here on time, right? I know that there's only one thing between us and a nice warm bed on this cold Minnesota night, and that is keeping this thing moving. So I'll do my best to try to keep us all focused, and especially as we get up and have all these wonderful acceptance speeches. I don't have the orchestra that goes along with the Oscars where we can start playing to say that's too long, but I can do all sorts of crazy things up here with the mic, so beware, okay? So let's just state the obvious. Doesn't it feel good to be hanging out with so many good people and good companies that are basically radiating goodness? I know that the open bar helps, and we're going to hope that the open bar helps with a few other things too. But part of my message here this evening is that I'm so pleased to partner with Minnesota Business Magazine, because you know what? Bad news sells. It's sexy. And the stuff that you hear on CNN and all the other reports that you watch in the morning seldom tells a good story about good people who are making good things happen in the world. One of the things I enjoy so much about reading the publication is that they're telling good stories about the good people that are making good things happen in the world. So it makes total sense that we're here to celebrate community impact tonight. I'm also really pleased for another reason. I'm an executive coach. I do events. I do speaking. We help people get to the next level in their personal and professional lives. And one of the things we established is something that Tamara talked about, was the Good Leadership Breakfast. And at the center of our breakfast is this goofy thing here. Who knows what this is? Does anybody have a handy paint pail? Yeah, a few of you do. A really good leader in Minneapolis, St. Paul. His name is Mark Bergman. Mark is a friend of mine. He's an unbelievably successful inventor. He invented this thing 10 years ago. It's the most successful patent in the painting industry. And to this date, they've shipped $65 million worth of these things through places like Home Depot and Lowe's and all those things you can imagine, and now they're in Japan. When I hosted my first breakfast, Mark encouraged me to put this on the center of the table and encourage us to share our wealth with people who are not quite as fortunate as us. We call this the bucket of goodwill. So let me explain to you what I'm about to ask you to do. First thing I want you to do is to look around the room and see how absolutely gorgeous we all are. And then how fortunate we are to be hanging out in this swanky spot on one of the greatest university campuses in the world, in one of the best cities for business in the world. But now I'm going to ask you to do something that you normally get asked to do in church. I'm going to start this because what we're going to do is I'm going to ask you to dig deep in your pocket and take something like this out of there and put it in the bucket along with your business card. Because at the end of this evening, Steve Molman, the editor here, is going to draw a business card out. And whomever he calls that wins the bucket of goodwill, we're taking all of that money and we're donating it to the charity of that person's choice. We are unbelievably privileged and wealthy, and we're just asking you to share just a little bit of it on a night where we're trying to make impact on the community. That's another one of those, duh. So I'm going to give you a couple of seconds to dig deep. Don't get embarrassed. If you need to borrow a business card from somebody to write your name on it, go ahead and do it. And while you're doing that, let me share with you that this silly little technique, we've raised more than $37,000 in the last 3 years through good leadership events. And I also want to encourage you to be thinking about which charity you're going to donate your dollars to. Because when we draw your name, you're going to get a chance to talk on the mic and tell everybody about why you're so proud of that charity and where you're going to dedicate your dollars to. We're making an impact on the community tonight. So before I introduce our featured speaker for the evening, I'd like to call your attention back to the stage. I want to introduce you to the editor of Minnesota Business Magazine. I think there's a lot of reasons why you choose to read the things you do. I'm recommending that you take a good hard look at Minnesota Business Magazine now, because it has the special touch of the editor, Steve Molman. Please join me in welcoming the editor of Minnesota Business Magazine, Steve Molman. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Paul. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for being here in support of some of the state's most philanthropic businesses. Before we begin, I'd like to quickly recognize the members of our judging panel who helped select the companies being honored this evening. So please join me in applauding the following individuals. Laura Boyd of the Minnesota Chamber of Commerce.
Hey, let's... There you go.
Thank you, sir. Daniel Gumnett of People Serving People. Jeff Bajek of Venture Bank. Carrie Needfeld Thomas of Social Enterprise Alliance. Jay Hammond of Highland Bank. Thomas Keller of Moss and Barnett. And Christy Mack of McGladrey. Thank you once again to all of our judges. We really appreciate it. This is the first time we've held this event, and we have high hopes. Thank you all for being here.
So I said I had two roles. One was to set the tone. We've done a good job of that. Second is to keep this thing moving. We're officially ahead of schedule. So there's a lot of pressure on this next speaker. It's so fun to personally know people who's the local guy who grew up as the kid in the neighborhood who made it big. Our featured speaker is someone that you're all aware of. Someone who grew up in a neighborhood here in this great city, whose parents had a corner drugstore. This is a person that has been tirelessly promoting Minneapolis-St. Paul, and particularly Minneapolis, as a fabulous city to do business in. I don't know about you, but I get to travel a lot, and I'm sitting in backs of taxi cabs a lot, and people will say, "Where are you from?" And it's so fun to say Minneapolis, because most people have a wonderful connection with the kind of generosity we have, and with all the civic building that's happened lately. People will say things like, "Yeah, what's up with Minneapolis anyway?" So I'm really pleased to introduce the mayor of our fair city, and I want to tell him that I wore my Vikings outfit in celebration of this fabulous new stadium that's going to rise up out of the city and make us go on top again. Please welcome Mayor R.T. Rybak. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome.
So if Adrian Peterson goes down this year, we're ready for you. He looks great.
That's right.
It is wonderful to be here, folks. I mean, it's really an incredible honor to stand up here and look out at a room filled with people who have given from their daily life, who've chosen to say that I will work and I will do more. It's a really wonderful thing, and I really applaud the magazine for taking the leadership on this. It is one of those brilliant ideas that we should have thought of a long time ago, but I'm glad we didn't wait too long. You are here to honor folks, and I think the most important thing I can do is talk quickly and sit down. But let me, if I could, just spend just a couple very quick minutes putting in context what I hope is going on here today. And I want to start it off by just depressing the hell out of everybody in this entire room for just a moment, okay? Let me say to you something that you've probably heard a little bit. This is a lousy time to be doing business. This is a period of time when the American century may be over, where things are being made in China, where great industries that were the hallmarks of this country are running out, where our fossil fuels are not only creating great challenges for our climate, but may not be here in anywhere nearly the same degree that we have. We have an educational gap. How many people have heard that story? We've all heard that story, and I am here to say to you that I see the world exactly not like that at all. I think it is incredibly important, though, for us to recognize that has become the default position. It's become the way that we've talked to each other and about what we've seen in business and communities. And I think one of the things that's important about what we see here today is to reject that thinking very quickly. And we shouldn't reject it out of blind optimism or simply the idea that we feel good about a place or ourselves or others. We should reject it, for starters, out of pure, clean fact. And I say that because I spend a lot of time talking to young people about their future. For these past, I think, 9 years, I've spoken to every 9th grade of Minneapolis schools. I go to every school year after year, every single one. I talk to kids about their future. I ask them to close their eyes and visualize where they're going. And so I need to look in the eyes of the next generation and give them a true vision of where we're going. And I can honestly say to them that they, the most valuable generation we've ever raised, are on the brink of clearly the most exciting period of time we've ever had in business. And stop and think about this. Often I do to them what I should do to you, which is to look up at those lights and say, that for many years those lights have been powered by fossil fuels, coal, which in North Minneapolis, those of you from Northeast Bank know that for many years the air quality of Northeast was really soiled by the coal plant from the Northeast coal plant. Well, that's now powered by natural gas. The air is cleaner, but certainly over the next few years How that energy is powered is going to change dramatically in a phenomenally exciting way. The entire energy sector that underlies what powers us is being reinvented before our very eyes, and we as Americans and we as Minnesotans are in the forefront of wind and geothermal and solar and so many other things that are being invented before our eyes. The power that moves us is changing dramatically, and it creates enormous opportunity. And then you stop and you look at all of the core businesses we have, and that whole fallacy that somehow we don't make things in America is gone. The idea that somehow the car in America is dead has certainly been put to rest. The American auto industry is resurging, but so are so many other businesses. I was in a fantastic meeting just a week ago with people from an alliance of people involved in sewing. They do handmade bags here that are custom made. They make blankets in Faribault, and they walk through the other industries, and suddenly, remarkably, this thing that supposedly we were never going to do again in this country and this city is now creating enormous numbers of jobs right here at home. You look at technology, and you look at the fact that the medical device industry has dominated so well here, but now as that and all sorts of other technologies begin to converge, and the manufactured piece that goes inside of a body and the body healing itself have come together in a new sort of synergy that takes our position here in the middle of this whole new medical future is tremendous. When you look at the idea that the technology that we use to print a piece of paper from our computer will really be the technology to take printing to a whole new level where you can actually print a car from that same technology, that is beginning to make us think in radically different and much more robust kinds of ways. And then you take the other secret weapon of this community. And the secret weapon of this community is one that most people never think about here. And it's the fact that we are far better positioned for a global economy than any other community in the United States of America. Now, why would I say that? Stop and think about that. Why would we say that? Here we are in the middle of the country. We don't have access to any ports, for gosh sakes. We have a very good airport, but it's not a dominant one. You stop and think about that. Why would we be so well positioned? Well, there are a lot of factors in that about great companies that are doing outsized work around the globe, and they always have. But the single greatest factor we have is that right now, every single business around the globe has to find ways to cross cultural barriers. There's not a single business out there that can say, I can look in the mirror and all I have to do is do business with people who look and talk and think like me. Not a single business can depend on just having workers exactly like the CEO. That's where our greatest skill comes in. Because over the past few decades, very quietly, this community, through its generosity, has said that we are actually going to be an example of what the Statue of Liberty is in this new century. We, Minneapolis-St. Paul, are going to welcome people from around the world. And so, through great efforts of social justice, we've welcomed refugees from around the world, Somalia, from Southeast Asia, from Tibet. You can go on, Liberia. And what has happened is as those populations have come here, we have then invested in those young people, and now we are raising a generation of workers who are far better able to compete in the globe than any other community in the country, and I will prove it to you. The Step Up Summer Jobs program that we have had has gone into those schools, and those ninth graders that I've spoken to over these last 9 years, 16,000 kids, 86% kids of color, 50% immigrants, 93% kids in poverty. The Step Up Summer Jobs program has taken 16,000 kids, and they are the workforce of tomorrow. And no other community has come close to touching what we have done in this community. And many of you have been on the forefront of it, and I want to implore you and beg you and encourage you and give you the self-interest to say that you should be part of the Step Up Summer Job program too, because these workers will get us into new arenas. The conversation I had with Ken Powell at General Mills. General Mills was a lead sponsor originally. We said, look, we're going to have to someday be competing in Africa like we are in India and China, and he laughed and he said, we're sending General Mills people there now. How quickly can we do that? When I look at U.S. Bank, and Richard Davis has been the single lead on this, we recognize that he has led this whole effort as well. And when you stop and think about that, we can compete better across the globe than any other community, and that is a huge, huge asset that we have if we invest in this generation. But there's a final point that makes this community far better able to compete than anywhere else, and it's the reason that we are here today. The reason we're here today is that when we look at business in this community, we look at it differently. And we look at it differently because we say it is in my self-interest to earn a living and to build my company, but it is also in my self-interest to care about more than my self-interest, because this community has always had that value. From the beginning of the settlement of this community, we have always had a philosophy of giving back. And a generation ago, I remember as an early reporter writing those stories where we were very afraid that the civic giving in this community was going to go away because the business community was changing. There's no longer a Pillsbury at Pillsbury. There's no longer a Dayton at Dayton's. You began to remember these stories, remember those from about 20, 30 years ago. People said that our whole civic giving was based on the fact that the founding families of this community had a great value of giving back. Thank God they did. But look at this room. You have disproved that idea. In a generation, we have remade corporate philanthropy. We have remade the civic infrastructure, and we have proven it's not about a few very generous, very wealthy people who run very large companies. It's what we do every day. And so what we're celebrating tonight is the fact that while other communities may be eating each other's lunch in competition, we compete very well, but we recognize that helping that person next to us succeed is about saying that a complete community, one that doesn't leave people behind, one that does reach out to others, is also one that has a complete ability to compete around the world. That's what we're here for. And I want to finish by saying that that is not an accident. That is not an accident. It is exactly what this community has been about. And stop and think about how we were formed. This is, in a natural state, before all these buildings and settlements got here, this is where the woods meet the prairie. It's an amazing point in the geological landscape of our continent. And so before all these buildings were here, what would happen is that people would begin walking through the big woods on the East Coast for miles and miles, day after day, in near darkness. Beautiful, beautiful area, but they begin to come, they could barely see in front of their eyes. And they'd walk, and they'd walk, and they'd walk, and they'd walk, and then they'd come to the only natural waterfall in the Mississippi River, right here, where the woods meet the prairie. And as they came out of the woods and they saw that beautiful waterfall, the skies would open up. And as they looked out on the prairie, they recognized that this is where vision begins. That's not a metaphor, it's a reality for how we were settled. And entrepreneurs on the riverfront started mills that became General Mills and Pillsbury, and they gave back into the community, and that's what we are all about. There is something in the water in the land of 10,000 lakes, and that something in the water is what you do every day, the reason you're here today. And what I ask you to do is to not only keep doing that, but to recognize that if it was true that a generation ago, 5 very wealthy people who ran companies sat in a small room and talked about giving, now we are bigger and larger, and we need that to continue to grow. Continue to spread the ethic of who we are, continue to be exactly what Minnesotans are, and that's why not only will be a very good community, but a successful one as well. Thank you so much for all the work, and I look forward to all the winners doing well tonight. Have a good night.
Thank you. Minneapolis has consistently been in the top 10 list of the best cities to do business in America over the last decade, and that's the guy that's been in charge. It feels awesome to be in that presence, doesn't it? Thank you again. As I said earlier, we're here to celebrate goodness, and we're here to celebrate generosity. I just want to make sure those of you who are here with the possibility of winning the award understand 2 things. Take a look at your program and see the peer group that you're in. Because nothing significant ever happens alone, right? It takes a bunch of people working together, and we're the people that are working together to make this a wonderful community. But I also want you then, if you have the possibility of winning, I hope you've thought ahead about who might come up here and receive your award. And I'm hoping how you might spend your 1 minute really efficiently, because I'm going to help lead you through this, and I'll cue the orchestra if I have to. So let's get started. I want to announce the first award category this evening, and that's the Employment Award. We will have several awards. We'll be able to see who's being nominated up on the screen. For those of you who have your back to the screen, I'm sorry about that. I'm going to simply name the award and the 3 organizations, and then I will announce our winner. Unlike the Oscars, I will say, and the winner is. And then you can have one person from your organization come on up. Our friend Steve is going to be here to help give you your award. We'll give you a chance to have the microphone for how many minutes? 1 minute. And then, of course, we have a wonderful banner over here where we'll take pictures of the winners. And those of you who have not had your picture taken in front of the banner, you're welcome to do that when we're done with our evening. So, I also want to remind you that your bucket will be picked up here very shortly. And here's the deal. I want to make sure that this $20 gets into one of those buckets right there. Okay? So are you ready to begin? Our first award is the Employment Award. We have 3 finalists. The finalists are Donnelly Custom Manufacturing, Marvin Windows and Doors, and Miller Manufacturing. So now we need yeah, there you go. Thank you very much. And the first winner of the very first ever Community Impact Awards presented by Minnesota Business Magazine is Marvin Windows and Doors. The late Bill Marvin originally got in the window and door business partly because he saw the need to provide jobs for returning World War II veterans. Marvin Windows and Doors now employs more than 2,000 people in War Road. That's more people than actually live in War Road. And the company has donated more than $10 million to the community to help build the War Road Senior Living Center, which serves more than 100 residents. And please step to the mic here, tell us who you are, and tell us a little bit about what you've done to receive the award.
Actually, can I give it just for a second? I don't want to drop it. Well, my name is Christine Marvin, and I'm with Marvin Windows and Doors, and I'm a 4th-generation family member. And what an honor to be in this category amongst some great companies. And on behalf of the family, our employees, and equally important, the community of Warroad, I am pleased to accept the award on behalf of Marvin. Tonight, in calling out employment, Minnesota Business is shining a light on the importance of business to our communities, and thank you for doing this. There's a tremendous strength that grows from the very important relationship between the community and the company. For us, it's a foundation, it's fundamental. Ours is truly a family business. Today, there are 16 3rd and 4th generation family members employed full-time in the business. But there are many more who share in this honor. In recognizing our business, you're also recognizing our employees. Multiple generations of our friends and neighbors work with us in serving our community and our customers. It is why we come to work in the morning, and it may be why we're being recognized this evening. My grandparents and parents instilled in us at a very early age the importance of being engaged, giving back, and sharing our gifts with the community. They taught us that along with privilege of operating business comes a responsibility to others. They were, and they are wise, because our business is only sustainable if our community is strong. Their wisdom has found its way into our core purpose. In our core purpose, the reason that Marvin Companies exist at all is to contribute to the long-term vitality of the communities in which we work and play. We do this by providing the opportunity for meaningful employment and by modeling responsible and ethical business practices. We've been tested and we've navigated through a housing depression, but we haven't wavered. We're committed to doing what we could do to keep everyone on the payroll, and there have been major sacrifices, but everyone kept their jobs, everyone kept their health care. We didn't have any layoffs. Lost jobs would hurt our schools, it would hurt our churches, and it would hurt our local businesses. It would hurt our neighbors, our families, and our friends. So on behalf of the family and company, thank you tonight for this recognition.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Wonderful. And if you go that way, they'll take you. Excellent. What a wonderful way to get started. The second award is the Creative Campaign Award. There are 3 finalists: Gabrielle DeGrood Bent, IntroWorks, and Repke Public Relations. And the winner is Gabrielle DeGrood Bent. Where are you? Since the inception, the company has been devoted to giving back to the community. They created a pro bono campaign for Gillette Children's Hospital called Pity. It's 100% curable. Through campaigns like this, the organization is helping make a positive impact on the perception of disabled children, improving the local community, and changing the status quo. Please come and accept your award. Now that's a large step. Be careful. Thank you. Absolutely.
Thank you very much. It's actually pronounced Gabriel, but
Sorry.
that's okay. You know, I'm sad to say it's not too often that advertising and nobility are mentioned in the same sentence. But at GDB, we started about 18 years ago, and giving back has always been part of our mission, so this is a great validation, and I can get my CFO off my back maybe for a minute or two about all the pro bono work we do. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Excellent. Congratulations. Thank you. Congratulations. So if you go this way, we'll get out there and you can have your photograph taken. Our next award is the Workplace Giving Campaign Award. It honors successful employee giving or volunteer campaign created by a company for a specific nonprofit. The finalists in the category are American Engineering Testing, C.H. Robinson Worldwide, and CSM Corporation. The Workplace Giving Campaign Award winner is CSM Corporation. Employees gave back they cooked and served several meals, hosted birthday parties, donated more than 100,000 perishable food items to the Ronald McDonald House charities last year. They also held a variety of fundraisers and charitable events, donating almost $75,000, the company's largest corporate donation of 2012. Thank you so much. That's a big step.
Thank you very much, Minnesota Business, and I agree with RT that this is a good event to have for the host. It's kind of a lucky building for me. I got the first Entrepreneur of the Year award in this building. Then after that, I got the Lifetime Achievement Award, which I thought you had to be dead for. So I went home. So thank God we didn't get it for this year, because then I thought my days are numbered. I guess, which I just saw this category, it probably is fitting for us. I've been involved with charity pretty much all my life, and you know, I've given a lot to this community, and it was always kind of like a secret. I'd give the money, and then the employees would find out, and there never seemed to be a way to engage it. So about 8 years ago, when we were looking for a new HR director, I said one of the first initiatives is you have to put together a program that we can have the employees engage in giving back. And we'll give company time, but they also have to give personal time. So our motto has been, this is our 7th year now, and we pick a charity every 2 years, and we do fundraisers, we work at the charity, and we host other kind of events. So, excuse me, last year and this year, it's the Ronald McDonald House. And it's great for us because we're nationally also, so it connects all the employees elsewhere. But here in town, we donated 1,800 hours. About half of that is employees' time, half of it is company time. We raised $86,000, which is, I think, the largest that Ronald McDonald has had, I think even nationally for them. It's a great organization. I was a recipient of it at Christmas time over at Gillette Children's Hospital. And it's a great place for the families to be, you know, when they have a child going through surgery. So our people host breakfasts, lunches, dinners, help make gift things, help with families with things that need to be done because they're in from out of town. And so it ends up being wonderful. And we get a lot more out of it than we give because it's great team building. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. Congratulations. We have an award here for you. You can follow her. Our next award is the Youth Initiative Award. This award honors company events or programs that teach children skills or inspire them to become leaders of tomorrow. The finalists are Bowman Tool and Machine, Flint Hills Resources, and Salo. And the winner is Bowman Tool and Machining. Where are you? Oh, it says here that Steve and I are going to accept the award on behalf of Bowman Tool and Machining. I never really won anything, so this is kind of fun. So you give it to me, I'll give it back to you.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. It feels good. You're welcome. What the Bowman Tool and Machining Company did to win that, they have a partnership with the area middle and high schools to educate youth about the opportunities within the manufacturing industry. It's called the Youth Initiative. They also work with colleges to equip college graduates with the necessary skills to build successful careers in the manufacturing industry. With the help of the Boys and Girls Club, they also offer internship opportunities before graduation. So we're pleased to accept that award. The next award is the Sustainability Award. This award honors companies that have found creative ways to offer products or services in a way that's better for the environment over the long run. The finalists are Accent Signage Systems, CR BPS, and the Legends Golf Club. And the winner is Accent Signage Systems. Yay, they're back there at the table. This is a very special time for Accent Signage Systems to win this award. The founder and CEO built his manufacturing company around innovation and superior eco-friendly product technology in the category. They pioneered many sustainable products and technologies, but sadly, their founder passed away last year. But Accent Signage still remains very dedicated to the service in the community. I expect you'll tell us a little bit more about that.
Thank you. On behalf of Accent Signage, I would like to thank Minnesota Business for the Sustainability Community Impact Award and Minneapolis's Economic Development team for the nomination. We are truly honored to be recognized for our sustainability effort over the past number of years. Many of the people who deserve this recognition could not be here. We owe so much to our founder and president, the late Reuven Rahamim, for his 30 years of leadership in the company and the community. To John Suter for his innovative and sustainable product designs, and every member of the Accent team, both past and present, for their hard work and dedication. Reuven took an active role in the future of his community, from his days of working with the Bryn Mawr neighborhood to his recent involvement with Think Green MSP and the Minneapolis Workforce Council. Reuven was always passionate about bettering our environment. He helped shape new policy proposals for the cities of Minneapolis and St. Paul, aimed at reducing energy consumption in commercial buildings, expanding government procurement, and increasing the region's export of green products. Our company followed a similar environmentally friendly trajectory. We have made significant efforts to manufacture environmentally sustainable products by incorporating bio-based materials. To us, this award is much more than a plaque to hang on our wall. We are grateful for it, and we will work to continue to earn it in the years to come. Thank you.
Thank you. So I'm 49 years old. And when I think back about the attitudes that we had about service men and women when I was a young kid growing up, is very different than the way my kids are growing up today. This next award honors, it's called the Yellow Ribbon Award, and that honors specifically how employers are helping returning veterans come back into the workforce. It's an unbelievably honorable thing, and I'm here and very proud to announce the 3 finalists. The first is the API Group. Parsons Electric. And U.S. Bank. And the winner is the API Group. Congratulations. The API Group has made employing and supporting veterans part of its company culture. Through the organization's veteran rotational program, they assist returning veterans transition into civilian life by transferring their military skills into the workplace. I'm sure you'll tell us more about this, but it's very impressive that the leaders hire at least 1 veteran in at least 40 subcontracting companies in more than 200 locations a year.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm Greg Kipe, CFO at API Group. And on behalf of API Group and its owner, Lee Anderson, I'd like to thank Minnesota Business for this honor. It is really an honor for the company. And the company hires veterans because it's the right thing to do. And we've had a goal last year of hiring 1 veteran at each of our 40 companies. And we hired 146 veterans. We recognize the great experiences these veterans have in the field and combine that and invest in these individuals to teach them skills where we can hopefully make them an employee for the rest of their lives, working lives. And I'd like to recognize one of those employees right now. Sorry to put you on the spot, Seth, but why don't you, if you could stand up, and this is Seth. He's at our Twin City Garage Door business. He's a veteran. He's served 1 stint in Iraq, and in 10 days he's going over to Afghanistan. So be safe, Seth, and thank you. Appreciate the award.
Yeah, thank you so much. Congratulations. Yeah, absolutely. You can go this way. Yeah, congratulations. Thank you, Seth. Our next award is the Social Entrepreneurship Award, which honors companies that were created to address social, environmental, or other issues affecting Minnesota. The finalists of the Social Entrepreneurship Award are Cream for a Cause. Thank you. Finnegan's. And Forgotten Shirts. And the winner is Finnegan's. The simplest way to describe Finnegan's is that they turn beer into food. It's a business that builds community. They were founded in 2000. They donate 100% of their profits to local food banks. in areas where their beer is sold. To date, the Finnegan's Community Fund has donated more than $250,000 to local food banks.
I bet you guys are all expecting Jackie Berglund up here today, aren't you? I am Buffy Bleasy. I'm the owner of AviCoach, and I've been coaching Jackie for the last 4 years in this wonderful company. And she apologizes for not being here today, but they are on a mission this season. As you all know, St. Patrick's Day is coming up, and this is the most busy season for them. They are working on so many amazing things in regards to their relationship with the Emergency Food Shelf Network and these local farmers to bring real goodness and food to the food shelves and for people who might not be able to afford it. It's been a wonderful ride for them. They're super excited, and some incredibly exciting things are happening. For instance, if you're going down to Fort Myers to see the Twins, you will now find Finnegan's on tap there, and we've got a local farm. Yeah, isn't that awesome? At Hammond Field, and we have got a local farm down there. So on March 19th, it's Finnegan's Night at the field down at Hammond Field, and so we welcome you down there. And if you've got an opportunity to go spend some time out at the pub during St. Patty's Day, we want you to go and do that too. So thank you so much, and Jackie is super happy about all the things that they're up to, and thank you for drinking our beer.
You're welcome. Thank you. I like to think of every night at my house as Finnegan's Night. The next award is the Community Event Award, which honors and supports companies that bring the community together. The finalists are Cowboy Jacks, that's the After Midnight group, First and The Nerdery. So 2 awards ago, we had a golf course. Now we just had a beer organization, and now we have to celebrate The Nerdery. The Nerdery, the Overnight Website Challenge, created by The Nerdery, has contributed more than $2.5 million in professional services for 84 nonprofits. It's a self-organized volunteer team of 8 to 10 web professionals who recruit their peers to create websites for nonprofits. Please explain more.
First, thank you guys very much. I can tell you that we are happy to even be mentioned in the same breath of all the other nominees that we heard about tonight, and absolutely applaud the impact they've had on the community. We share this award, though, for sure, with all of the people, the hundreds of volunteers over the years who have made the Nerdery Overnight Website Challenge possible. It's absolutely a community effort, and it's supported by the many nerds who have given their free time and their weekends and their sanity and everything else, in some cases, to get our local nonprofits new websites. So when we're not giving away our time, we make a pretty decent living with this whole interactive design and development, web development stuff. But a few years ago, about 5 years ago, we decided it was time to make some efforts into building a community around helping local nonprofits. And it was Mark Hurlbert, who's here tonight, he's our Vice President of Marketing, that recognized the need and created this event to not only give back to the community from the Nerdery, but to create a venue for other people in our industry to give back to the community as well. So that's what he's created. So it's great. Our next Nerdathon is just a couple weeks away in the Spring Forward weekend, daylight savings time that's coming up here in a few weeks. And we're going to keep doing it until there's no more nonprofits with bad websites, I guess. So with that, thank you guys once again. We sit and think about all of the collective impact that all the nonprofits that we have helped have had on the community, and it's a small price to pay to lose a few hours sleep to help them achieve their mission and move on with what they're doing. So it's a pretty good investment. We thank the nonprofit community for putting their faith in us, and we have really appreciated at the Nerdery this opportunity that we've had to make a difference. So thank you very much.
Excellent. Congratulations. Great stuff. Terrific. Congratulations. It's now that we transition into what we call the Best in Class Awards. But I want to give you a chance at this point to talk amongst yourself for 1 minute here at your table. I want to tell you that there are 24 tables in this room, and you can count how many people are at your table. I want you to have a conversation. Make a guess. How much money do you think that we raise together through the bucket of goodwill? Pretty soon we're going to have a conversation about this. So make a guess. Add up how much you think you had at your table times 24 tables and just come up with a number. Ready, set, go. So what are you guys thinking? What are you thinking? 2,500? So I've got one guess over here at 2,500, another at 2,000. 2,000. 3,500, we have a guess here. Wow, 4,000? Wow. There's just a few minutes and 4 more awards between now and the time we figure that out, okay? So hang in there with me. We're now going to transition to the Best in Class Awards. We have them for a long-term achievement as well as small company, mid-company, and large company. So 4 more awards. The finalists in the Best in Class Small Company Award are Evolve Systems, Little and Company, and McGuire Agency. Please enjoy a short video that we made about this category.
It's our way to say thank you for what we have. We look at it that if our community wasn't strong, then our business isn't going to be strong. So just as the community takes care of Evolve Systems as a business, we have an obligation to take care of the community in return.
We do what we do because it's the right thing to do, and insurance is only so fun. So we got to find some other things to do. But can we serve others in other capacities? And that's what gets the juices flowing around here, and it rubs off on everybody.
I believe absolutely that every single person has the potential to be a philanthropist in some way. Everyone has that ability, and if we all do something, then we live in a great place.
Again, the category is Best in Class Small Company. The nominees are Evolve Systems, Little and Company, and McGuire Agency, and the winner is McGuire Agency. Terrific. The company has a social responsibility committee, and employees are encouraged to participate in many, many ways. Please tell us about the wonderful things you're doing at McGuire Agency.
Well, thank you. I'm Matt Clydesdale. I'm the president of McGuire Agency. What a great room. I'm just humbled and inspired by all the great stories that we've heard tonight, and to be considered in this category. It's also a great room because I'm an alum, so rah-rah, Ski-U-Mah.
Yeah, that's right.
We all enjoy a great quality of life here, and I think we all know that. I really want to say thank you to Minnesota Business for singling that out. Business is good, and they do add a lot to our quality of life and give a tremendous amount back. The examples have been given tonight, people that I've looked up to and our company has looked up to when thinking about that. I'm especially proud of our group and the culture that it's just part of our DNA, giving back, and they've embraced that. I'm especially proud that 12 insurance agents could show up at an event like this with an open bar and be relatively well behaved. And especially want to say thanks to, again, Minnesota Business for recognizing small business. Many times it's overlooked. I like to say small but mighty. It was a great category, had friends in the category, and it's just it's so many times I think the small businesses that are doing a lot are overlooked. It makes me think of a story. My table is now rolling their eyes, going, oh, God, he's going to do a story, really? But it's the starfish story. Many of you have probably heard it. If you haven't heard it, it's good to hear it again. If it's new to you, it's our gift to you. And that is a man's walking down the beach, and in the distance he sees a young girl dancing. And as he gets closer, he realizes she's not dancing. She's taking starfish and throwing them back into the ocean. And the old man looks at her and says, what are you doing? And she says, well, the tide has gone out and these starfish are not going to survive. And he says to her, there's miles and miles of beach here and thousands of starfish. You'll never make a difference. And she picks one up and gently tosses it back in the ocean and says, I made a difference to that one. Have a great night, everyone. Thank you very much.
Oh, come this way. Come this way. Yeah, it's easier to brag about the award if you actually take it back with you, okay? Don't forget to have your picture taken over there too, okay? The Best in Class Mid-Size Company Award is next. It's awarded to companies with 51 to 500 employees. And the nominees are Great Plant Moody, Marco, and Northeast Bank. We also have a video about the mid-size category as well. Please enjoy this video.
We're in a privileged position to have to be lawyers, and with that privilege comes a responsibility to give back to the community. It's the heart condition of our firm, and each of our members is something that we look for, and who we hire, and who we do things together with.
I think that giving back to the communities that we do business in is good business. Customers like to buy from people they like, and they like to buy from companies they like, and giving's a good thing, and they like that.
We are a for-profit business, but part of that is the responsibility to your community, because we think we're helping people get on their feet, get a start in life, get some traction, and that's really what if you think about it, what a bank should be doing, what a financial institution should be doing.
And the winner in the mid-sized best-in-class category is Marco. Marco is an employee-owned company, and as part of their stock ownership plan, they've made a decision to do good with those dollars. They routinely give at least 5% of its annual profits to the community. They're very involved in involving the employees in deciding where those dollars will go, sponsoring community events, participating in fundraisers, and just encouraging employees to be active in their community. Please tell us more.
Well, I was cheering against us. I didn't want to come up here. We're honored to win the award. Marco is, we're 40 years old this year. We've been around since 1973. And we have a culture of doing well and doing good. And what that means is that it's important to do well financially, as all of us in the room understand. But it's also important to do good in your community. It's more important to do good in your community. And I was pretty proud of our statistics, and I still am. And then I listened to Finnegan's Beer up here, and I'm like, whoa, 100%. That's really great, so congratulations to them as well, and all the other winners. But doing good at Marco is a mixture of things. Since 1981, we've been a member of the Keystone Committee, and we give 5% of our profits back to charity. As an organization, our 490 employees last year donated $115,000 to the United Way, and that's a pretty big commitment because we have employees that range in all levels of the pay scale, and everybody participates. We have excellent participation. We give back to our customers. Our key accounts, 1.5% of everything they buy goes back to them and to the charities or foundations that they represent. Last year, that up to $150,000 went back. And then probably up here on behalf of Marco, we're an employee-owned company, 100%. And although an ESOP is not a rare thing today, it is rare to be 100% employee-owned, which we've been since 2001. And even in the depths of the recession in 2009, we returned $2.3 million to our employees. And I know Marvin Windows, that's something they believe in a lot as well. And a lot of that money goes back and gets invested into the community. So we're very honored to win the award. Thanks to everybody for coming. Congratulations to all the other winners, and good luck to all those to still be announced.
Yeah, thank you. Congratulations, Steve. Absolutely. Next, we have the Best in Class Large Company Award. Honors companies with more than 500 employees for their long-term commitments into the community. The finalists in this category are the Allianz Life Insurance Company of North America, Bremer Bank, and Morrissey Hospitality Companies. Please watch the short video we prepared for this category.
We feel we need to give back to the community. We also have a mission or a vision to provide seniors with a great retirement. So we focus on seniors, financial literacy, and helping the community in which we live.
It's part of our company culture. We believe that we deliver hospitality in a heartfelt way because we're people being of service to other people. So we just naturally like to help people.
I think healthy communities create a better business environment. So I think it's really important for businesses to be interconnected in their community and find out how they can help, what ways they can volunteer to improve the business and civic environment in the communities that they do business in.
And the winner in the Best in Class Large Company is Bremer Bank. The bank has a Taking Action to End Hunger campaign that has raised almost $1 million towards the cause. Please tell us a little bit more about Bremer Bank.
Well, it's just an honor to be in the room tonight. Bremer is very much, as people have talked about the culture and who we are. You look around the room today, and as Paul said, radiating the goodness. Just being nominated and being with the room with the other candidates today is something that we're very proud of. We want to congratulate those other finalists. We want to thank the Minnesota Business Journal or magazine to be able to sponsor this event and bring the visibility of the good work that we're doing every single day in our communities. Our vision at Bremer Bank is to build healthy communities through partnerships, like the one that we have with Second Harvest Heartland and many of the nonprofits and civic organizations that we have in our communities today. Bremer Bank is also owned by our employees and the Otto Bremer Foundation, which last year we're very pleased that we can report that we donated over $36 million to the communities where we have Bremer Banks. But with that financial contribution, we're also very proud of our employees. They donate countless hours every single year to the communities, to their civic organizations, to the nonprofits that they believe in, and we support that through giving them time away from work, as well as encouraging them to be able to be leaders in their communities. And so with that, again, we want to thank the Minnesota Business Magazine. We want to thank and congratulate all the great winners and all the great stories that we've heard here tonight. And again, get home safe to your families. Thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Thanks, Ken. Congratulations, absolutely. Go have your picture taken. Oh, you've been so patient. Thank you so much for being here tonight. We have one more award left, and then we're going to send you back out into the cold. But before that, we'll tell you who won the Bucket of Goodwill. So between now and then is the final award. The Long-Term Achievement Award. This honors companies that have shown at least 10 years of consistent commitment to nonprofit organizations in Minnesota. The finalists are Bremer Bank. Thank you. H.B. Fuller. And Weber Shandwick. We have one more short video to show you.
Our vision statement is to build healthy communities through partnerships like the partnership that we have with Second Harvest Heartland. Hunger is still a really compelling issue in all of our communities, and it impacts every community within Bremer's footprint. So we really think it's an important issue.
It's part of taking a very long-term view of, what's your mission as a company, and how do the employees want to be thought of? Right? Do they want to be part of a company that's a good member of the community? And they do. They feel good about that.
From the moment we were founded, we knew that we wanted to be and needed to be involved in the community. You have to think about how do you really live values? How do you demonstrate who you are and what you are? And programming like this is a way to, in a very tangible way, to show what matters.
Excellent, thank you. And the winner of the Long-Term Achievement Award, honoring at least 10 years of commitment to the community, is Weber Shandwick. This year, Weber Shandwick hosted its 21st annual Telling Your Story workshop. It's designed to help nonprofits really hone in on their story, to go to market and raise money. It's a free 6-hour public relations training session that happens in very interactive ways. There's hardly a nonprofit in this part of the country that hasn't touched that program. Please explain a little bit more.
All right, thank you so much to Minnesota Business. I want to kind of go off on the Telling Your Story event. So for those of you who don't know who Weber Shandwick is, we're a public relations agency, a global agency. We have 80 offices around the world, and we help, when my kids ask me what do we do, because it's kind of complicated to tell them, I tell them we help our clients tell their stories. So we help nonprofits tell their stories. And we've been doing this for 30 years, since David L. Mona founded our organization 30 years ago. And we have, every year we help pro bono clients. We take them on, 1 or 2 clients every year. And last year, and I co-lead our Making a Difference community outreach efforts. Last year we had 50 nonprofits apply to be our pro bono client. Tears. It was heart-wrenching to say no. When you're reading these applications, to say no to a client. So this started 21 years ago, so all of the ones that we said no to, we said let's have a full-day workshop to all of those we say no to and bring them in, and we had 60 employees this year at our 21st annual Telling Your Story event. We had 40 nonprofits there, and we worked with them all day, one-on-one consulting, hands-on workshops, just helping them to tell their stories, because they're the ones that have the great stories in this community. They're the ones that are doing the work that a lot of us don't want to be doing. They're the ones that inspire and motivate all of our employees to keep doing what we're doing, because it benefits all of us as individuals, as companies, organizations, when we can help improve the communities that we live and work in, and that's what inspires and motivates all employees to keep doing this for hopefully another 30 years. So thank you very much.
Yeah, congratulations. Now let me introduce you to the most important person at the room at this moment, Anne. She has the Bucket of Goodwill. And first, the total that we raised this evening was $2,034.65. Thank you so much. I really appreciate how much you trust us asking you to dig deep and put money into that bucket. It's going to feel really good to somebody really soon. Steve, come over here and draw out a business card out of the bucket. So who is it? Laura Jurgens from Allianz. So come, oh, it's okay. Come on up here. Congratulations. So Minnesota Business will send this in your honor. Please tell into the mic who you're going to send the money to and why.
Wow. The Alzheimer's Association of Minnesota, North Dakota. My dad's affected by it, and at Allianz, we support it greatly. So that's where I'd like to go.
Fantastic. Congratulations. Congratulations. Oh, by the way, you can take this home. So Mark Bergman, who invented this, loves to give them away. We're going to pile them back there on the table. If anybody wants to give a handy paint pail a nice, healthy home, take it home with you. One apiece, okay? Thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this. I can't think of anything I'd rather do on a cold winter night than to be here getting warmed up by your goodness. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to throw it back to Steve, the editor of Minnesota Business Magazine.
Let's hear it for Paul. What an excellent MC.
Thank you.
I would also like to thank all of our sponsors, our partner sponsor, Comcast Business Class, our featured premier table sponsors, the table sponsors, and Corte Caterina for the wonderful wine. I would also like to mention that there's coffee and desserts along the back wall, so don't miss that. And also do not leave without picking up your copy of the March issue of Minnesota Business Magazine, featuring tonight's finalist. The issue has not hit the newsstands yet, so you're the first to get it. And let's give one more round of applause to Paul, and thank you for spending the evening with us. Thanks again.